All right. Right into Slay 6.
Ooh. It's Slay 666 already. Crazy. There's always one. There's always one. On every Slay count, there's always a Slay 666.
I forgot to put the 666. Yeah. My bad.
It happens.
Making the background.
It happens. But here we are.
Very good choice, I guess, for a 666 Slay.
Considering everything we've done up till this point, this is hands down the first time we're like, nah, it's horror for Christmas. Like, horror for the holidays. This shit was dark. There is not a chuckle to be found in this movie as opposed to everything else we've watched up until this point.
Yeah, everything else has at least been spreaded in here and there, but this one, from the get-go, sets the tone.
Yeah, we're talking The Lodge, which this movie came out at the beginning of 2020. It was one of the few movies I caught in theaters before the theater Theater shut down because of the pandemic. And it was definitely one of my favorite movies of the year, especially having seen it in theaters. It felt the same way as when I saw Hereditary in theaters. Like, I left that movie theater like, bro, I need a shower. Like, I need to shower this feeling off of me of just dread and despair. And I just feel like it's such a dark, heavy movie.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of shit going on in it too. Like, like you said, I mean, from the jump, you got Alicia Silverstone in it, and you're like, oh, haven't seen her in anything in a while. And then, spoilers, about 5 minutes into the movie, she blows her brains out. And
out of nowhere, too.
As soon as that happened in the movie theater, I was like, it's one of those movies. And so I was just along for the ride after that. And I genuinely, the first time I watched this, was just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I do not know. Like, what is the reveal? Like, what is it going to be? And I really didn't expect it to end up being what it was. But I have to say, obviously spoilers ahead for this one for sure. As we get into these things. But if you don't want to know the twists to this one, I would get the fuck out, because this one has some pretty good twists and turns. In my opinion.
It's pretty
This was
solid.
your first time watching it?
Yeah. I was more so just like, I don't really know what's going on, but whatever. When I was watching it, these things are confused. We already were talking about a little bit, and I could already see that we were on like different wavelengths of this. Like, I was like, I think it was all just made up in her head, and you're like, nah, the kids are fucking with her.
Yeah. Which, especially after watching it a second time, not a second time, but for the most recent time, I'm doubling down. That's exactly what happened in that movie, is that the kids are just fucking with her. But there's definitely this point where they miscalculated. Like, that's all there is to it. Like, I do not feel bad for these kids. At the end of this movie, I don't know if we're supposed to feel bad for these kids or not, but I do not fucking feel bad for these kids. Like, especially because this movie is like a low-key cult movie without the cult. It's like a precursor to a cult movie, where it's like they drop that at the beginning of her like being this member that's like escaped from a cult that all committed suicide except for her. So she's lived this traumatic ass life up till this point. And it's like, you even see the kids do the research at the beginning and like learn all this shit about her. And so it's like, at some point you got to know that what you're getting ready to do to this woman, especially when when they took her pills away, like, and she didn't have her medication, and then they really fucked with her and made her believe that they were all dead and they went to purgatory. Like,
I don't think that was
they put them all. Yeah, they put it all in the thing downstairs, because there's a scene where you see their whole thing, because it shows them go downstairs to the basement and like move all this shit, and all of her stuff is in there. because that's when they go outside and they're like, yo, we were just making all this shit up, like come back inside. But that's what I'm saying, they miscalculated, they took shit too far, they didn't know when to stop, and then she fucking went fully over the edge. And I think everything after that is definitely like her mind snapped, dude. Like, so everything after that was just like, those kids fucked up.
See, I don't know, because the thing that made me think that was how like the whole time she's looking for her dog.
Hmm.
But when the dad comes in at the end, the dog is just like it has been starved to death in
Oh
there.
no, 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 no! She finds the dog. She finds the dog out in the cold
Oh,
because she comes back in with the dog and it's frozen to death. And the little girl sees it out the window and she goes outside like crying, like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Like I didn't mean to. Like I left the door open. Like this is all my fault. I'm so sorry." But like it's shortly after that that they tell her like, "Yeah, our bad. Like we've been fucking with you." Like
I must have missed a little bit of
I
this
guess
movie when I
so.
was
It's like
watching it
yeah,
because
because
I
they
was just like,
totally like that because they show they've got like a speaker system up in the attic or something, and they recorded that video that they watched at the beginning of the movie of the cult and everything, where it's like you must repent and all that shit, and they're playing all that and making her think that she's hearing it in her head, but they're just playing it up in the attic. And
oh, well,
like,
then yeah,
oh
I guess
yeah, oh yeah,
those
oh
kids
yeah,
they did deserve it. So no
I'm
worries.
saying like the kids really, really, really like fucked with this woman hard. And it's like you already know she's got trauma. You already know she's taking pills to keep her shit under control. And it's like you're just upset because your mom had some issues, killed herself, and you're blaming it all on this poor girl. That it's like, you know, even if that was the reason, it's still not this woman's fault, you know? And it's like, man, moral of the story is kids are fucking mean.
I guess so, man. I'll cheers. I'll drink to that because that's fucked up.
I'm saying. I
That's
was,
fucked.
man, I thought I
I mean, it was a
wanted to
fucked up.
avoid
I still
kids
thought it
after.
was a fucked up movie for
Oh,
sure.
yeah. Regardless, it's still a fucked up movie.
I got to see what I scored it. Okay, it's fair.
I realized when we saw Eternals, the girl that played Sprite, I'm like, she seems so familiar. Like, what have I seen her in before? It was this movie. She was the sister, the little sister. I was like, ah, okay, okay. I knew I saw her somewhere before,
Nice.
but yeah, I enjoy it. It's definitely one that I actually had a hard time sitting down to watch it for this because I'd seen it so recently, and it's just not one that it's not good for your soul to watch it that many times in a
No,
row. Like
no,
this one's definitely like dark. So what's
definitely is. Pay
what's
attention to it, I would say.
yeah,
Um,
clearly.
but I scored this one an 8 out of 10. I
Word.
still thought it was solid. I thought it was pretty good for the psychological thriller horror sense, and
Hmm.
it is dark. So
That it is very dark. If that's your cup of tea, especially like the psychological thriller stuff, if you like Hereditary, all that shit, it's definitely up that alley. Um, with just the smallest taste of Christmas thrown in. Uh, I as well am going to go with an 8 out of 10. It's how I felt about it the first time I watched it. It's how I feel about it now. It still holds up. I definitely I feel like I noticed some more stuff this time around. Like once you know, it is one of those movies that like once you know what the reveal is, you're kind of looking for the clues up till that point. So there was a lot of things I noticed this time around where I'm like,
right.
oh, okay, well this is him clearly getting this and this and this like all ready to go. Uh, and they pre-planned that shit before they ever even left for the lodge. You know, so it's just like, damn, these kids.
Watching
Too
the
bad they're probably dead now because they would have
yeah,
had a great future ahead of them with minds like that.
yeah, they definitely got that. They definitely died at the end of that one. So
Yeah, yeah. I almost want to feel bad for the dad. The only person I feel bad for is that girl. Like, is the main girl. Like, that's who I feel bad for. Um, and fun fact: that actress is the oldest granddaughter of Elvis Presley.
nice.
Yeah, it's a little fun fact for you. Save you the Google. You know,
Save the Google clicks.
you might have to Google how to pronounce her last name because I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I don't know. I don't know.
Something.
Something. Something. The Lodge. If you've had too many Holly Jolly picks on our sleigh list, this one is not.
You can
So
go find that on Hulu and stream it up, and you're in for a ride.
you are in for a ride.
Well, that'll be it for tonight. So,
Yeah.
smooches, deuces, slay you later, and all that great stuff. Like and subscribe, and we'll have a Merry Christmas.
I just noticed that says and more stocking stuffers.
Yeah.
Jingle bells, Jack Frost smells, Bill Goldberg laid an egg. Max fucked up and Cody sucks, but Santa got away. Hey, jingle bells, Jack Frost smells, Bill Goldberg laid an egg. Max fucked up and Cody sucks, but Santa got away.